I forgot. Thank you. I read it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking and you can't hear me. Um, rub some Vicks. If you have like even the Overstore brand, am I still muted? um, if you have store brand chest rub, and if you have muscle cream, you can mix it a little bit together, and then you can put it on your sore muscles, and it would help. You would feel the heat of it working into your pores, and then it gets to your muscles. So I'm really absorbing water in my legs again. Do not know why. Maybe it's because the other my arthritis medicine, which I haven't taken in 3 months. But I hope you are well. It is Valentine's, so I'm going to say Happy Valentine's to you, in case no one's mentioning it. No one. Sometimes people don't go, celebrate Valentine's. For 4 years, I didn't. To me, I used to dislike this day, and it was very, very hard for me. Sansei, yes, happy Valentine's to you too, Roger. Um, as I was saying, Valentine's Day was a very ugly day for me. Um, that's when 4 years ago in Christmas Day, we found out my baby sister, who I raised as my own, we found out she had cancer, but we didn't know what stage. So when January came around, January 1st, New Year's, we did a Zoom call with her doctor, and she's right here and I'm behind. See, like my bearers are behind. I was like directly behind her left shoulder. And he said, yeah, I'm sorry to say, but you're stage 4. And I was like that. And was saying that, there's options. We can do chemo right away or radiation. And then when my mouth was still dropped, and he was like, oh, who's the lady behind you? I guess she's taking it kind of hard. And he said, she's a nurse. She's my sister. And so we talked about it and everything. And my sister turned around and looked at me and says, how are we going to deal with this? I said, well, one day at a time. That's what we can do. Well, I touched her and I started praying on her, and then he says, you know what? Let's do a shot. That's my sister. Let's do a shot. Do you want vodka or do you want tequila? I said, okay, let's have a shot of tequila. And my oldest daughter, was there too. And we sat at the table and we looked at each other and we said, cheers. And we drank it. And that was the last time my sister drank. And it wasn't cheap tequila either. It wasn't Don Julio. Well, wait a minute. It was Don Julio, 1943. That tequila, I love it. And I like to have a shot once in the blue moon, not every day or every weekend. No. It's not harsh, and it goes down smooth. And I don't do lemon or anything, but And I don't drink very often. It's ever since my sister really passed, I haven't really had a drink. Wow, not our shot either. Come to think of it, we were supposed to for Mama Rain Feathers when she passed, and instead of having wine, we put grape juice. I know everybody got mad because that's what we did. But to get back to my sister, and I said, I'm tired of this cancer. I'm done with this, and now it's taking someone I love again. And because my mom passed from breast cancer, but she lived. We didn't know what stage either. They didn't tell us. And when she did radiation and chemo, and I watched her deteriorate slowly, and it bite me in the heart so bad. And Mama Rainfeather and myself and some other council members, we would twice a week pray over my mom when she had her treatments. And now that my sister and we would try to see each other as much as we can, or we'll call a video call. And I told her, I said, you were my first child. Even you belong to mom, but I raised you, and I hope I did good. And I know I tried to teach you many things from medicine and learn, but I didn't mean to scare you with the sakangas. She laughed because she was scared of them. She would go with me. And that's one thing I was very, very thankful that my sister, and she would speak some of the language, but mainly English. And I said, no, kaya no stakwa. And she said, no, I'm not gonna. So I would tell her, come on, don't be scared. Let's go barefoot and walk around here. And then she says, no, let's just go in the circle and I'll have my shoes on. You can be barefoot. And then she sat down, and then I sat down, and I told her, today is going to be a blissful day. I know two would approach us, but most of all, she was really scared of the dog man. She says, "Oh, I could see him. He's like his look like he's got coming out of his mouth like he's slavas." And I said, "He's not gonna do nothing. What's he doing with his eyes?" I go, "Maybe he's flirting with you, trying to call you." It was funny, but you know what? Today, I said I have to break it. I can't keep holding on. So 4 years today will be that my sister has passed on Valentine's Day. And I said I will not cry. And I said I am going to celebrate now with Valentine's with her. And I told my husband, I said, I got you a gift. And he says, what do you mean? I said, you said we don't celebrate Valentine's no more. I said, here, my gift to you. I got him some cologne that I had been hiding in the back when it was on sale. So there. But I will continue another story with my sister. Excuse me. I took my medicine. Except for one. Anyway, now that it is Valentine's, I was on a Zoom meeting this morning. Who do we know that lives in New Mexico and Iowa? Does anybody have any relatives or friends? Because there was two different sightings of UFO, which are the star people, and they had emailed me saying, um, all right, they said that it was 3:55 in the afternoon yesterday. We seen, this is New Mexico, and her name is Linda R. She says, "Hi, Mama Bear Claw. I have been watching your channel for quite a few months now. Thank you for giving out certain names for medicine, how to make them, especially for coughs. I usually have a dry cough, and I did what you asked, and it's been helping me. I haven't been coughing for a month now. But I do want to say this: my mom and I had a sighting yesterday at 3:55 p.m. Thursday. We were out in the yard hanging clothes to dry. I love the smell of it. So do I. I still do. And I still wash my hand. She says, my mom said, "Look, what is that?" It looked like almost as a bell. You know, the bottom of the bell, how it lifts up. And she says it was round. And it had like very little lights, really dim. But we didn't know what they was. My mom said maybe they're the what are you? Oh, the government. Maybe they're flying things around because she had heard that the government in her 1942 that they had been encountered with flying saucer. Well, to my understanding, I wasn't born then, but I do know that yes, they had. Since the early 1900s, there have been two different kinds of flying saucers. There is a rectangle one, kind of, and a round like a bell, and that's very true. So, yes, the star people do come down and they gather data, even in our oceans. You'll see a beam light hit the ocean, and there is also that I truly believe they send creatures that can live in the water. I truly believe that is very, very true in my heart. The visions that I get sometimes, yes. And I'm like, okay, if they can bring other creatures, or if they can bring the star peoples into the ocean, is there actually a city down there that they live under? Many think I asked my colleagues, do you remember or recall back in the early 19s or in the 1940s, 50s, 30s about the star people traveling? Now, I can go back as 1945, knowing that from what I was reading up with and investigating with others and talking. Now, we have come with different images uh, on the mountain. You can see different designs. And you can also see that my heritage, the relatives have made paintings too. But then it shows that there's a beam of a circle and then smash down, and then that's supposed to be the beam of the light. But The ones that I've seen that my relatives have made are like there's three, and then that there's blank, and then three, blank, then three, and blank, and it ends up like north, south, east, west. And I'm like, do they really have their ship that way, or their aircraft? We had sat down in Arizona. Me and a colleague went with me to investigate when there was a UFO there, and this was in the 70s. No, yeah, I had went. Let's see, Palm Springs. I think I was about 20, and then to Arizona. Um, I think it was in the 80s. Excuse me, and we had visited someone and said that um, there's many sightings. Now, Navajo Res, when they contact us, which I have relatives there, and they also said, Kunihita ishta kwaya. Okay, these star people come to Mother Earth. When we were by maybe 20 miles off the res, and it is red dirt, and if you're wearing white, you'll never get it off. You're wearing blue or black, you might able to. But we made a big circle for all 15 of us, and we were like put so many east, west, north too. Most of us put down a feather in the middle because we want to give peace with the star people if they came. And we waited and waited for like 3 hours, but we were talking and telling why we think the star people come here. But as we were doing that, now out in the distance, we were hearing, ooh, I'll go up. Now, I was not told to do anything. I was just told to stay there because I was learning at that time more and more. And I stood up and faced where I heard the noise. Now, there was a Satanga, but not understanding what we were doing. He was observing, observing. Konyene means of observing us what we are trying to do. So when we all turned to look, you could see this 7 foot, big shoulders. And I said, oh, Satanga, Enekowa Heneshwa. Satanga, you were wondering what we are doing. We're trying to communicate with the star people. And you could hear it move back because John was moving closer to it, and he didn't like that. He made grunt sounds. So, and John says, I come in peace. No, ne evotuai. Koko no. Konia ya choe te kon inakai. We come here to understand along with you with the mountains when star people come. So John and the Satanga, as he kept trying, and then Fred came with following John, and we sat there. Then we were like looking, but it's starting to get dark, trying to look and look. So it was time to do prayers. So when we did, we started doing prayers, going, in the circle. We go clockwise in the circle. When we try to communicate in our minds, asking, why is it that you come to Earth? Why do you have certain states that you go visit? Or are you allowing your family to come in many states, but yet you go to certain states to stay and then you vanish? We never got any answers. So we left the circle. John and Fred came back. So we went back to the res. About 2 o'clock in the morning, we started seeing lights going back and forth. And I'm like, it can't be no showers, no meteor showers, or anything. And my chief, which was Red Hawk at the time, and he said, Eto koinino a. Kuninido kon eta a. Okay. Try not to look up to act normal. So then Red Hawk told me to come to him, and I did. My mother and Mama Rainfeather, we all went, and we were standing around him and asking, what is it that you saw? And he says, they're going to come. Be patient. They will come. So when it was 3 o'clock, they did come. We see them go straight into the mountain, inside the mountain. And we sat there and waited and we looked. And I would pick up the dirt and I would go like this and allow it to go down. But I couldn't see where they were. So, but they stayed in that mountain and we were forbidden to go. The chief had told many of us, do not go. They will leave a marking. Okay. So we were at the res, at the line where the trail goes to enter in the back of my uncle's home. And he was telling us, let's sit here. I will bring coffee. And we made a little fire. So there's 10 of us now. We're talking, and I said, let's sing. So we were like singing, and the chief and Fred and John were hitting the drum. Hey, waila wa ye, waila ye, una he, una. Kaitinio oiste. And I was saying, we allow you to come to visit us on this earth. We are curious who you are. It's a song that it's like a message. So we continue to sing. And I asked why. There is a big picture. It's like this. Let me see if I can do it again. I'm just daddy, okay? And this is how we saw him. There you go. But I could see it on the mountain like that. That had put an imprint in our head, and we try to understand why it is there. But it told us many things that it communicates with. It communicates with the it. And the chief says, no, we're not allowed to communicate. It is dangerous. It will take us. Now, I do understand that it will take many people. And I will say this. Over many years, where I'm going to go and get in trouble now. We believe that it has taken many people and children. And, but we would never really find who they are. And just that people will say they are missing. Danse, Henry, much blessings. Thank you for joining. I'm just telling a story. And happy Valentines. So, this is why the Satangas, I feel, say many people think it's them taking. But from out of my, I'm 63, out of my 63 years, I've never heard a Satanga from any tribal nation. And believe me, we listen to the people that live in the city or the country and ask our own clans, and they all say no. But people make story to make money. Sometimes other people want to be famous, so it's okay. Oh boy, I told you I'm going to get in trouble. Let's see. Nenek ahí está. Ekonekiane oiste. One of the council members says you weren't supposed to speak like that and tell the story. Shame me. I don't care. And I told you that I would help you, the people, understand what is there and what we're not supposed to say. So I don't get scared because I speak the truth, and I want those to know who go out and investigate, who to understand what is really out there. So I want you to know. I want you to stay safe. This is why I say wear your protection bag. You know, it would help you against the wind, the low. Now, I will say there is a Mothman. He is very large. He's about maybe 9 to 10 feet tall, and does have wings that are very large. But his hands and arms are within the wings. The eyes are like the aliens; they're very large. They said they have seen one in Iowa. Um, these are my notes from this morning's Zoom meeting. I put half email, half Zoom meeting, and I have dictations. And running water, he says that there is in Iowa like a Mothman, and it's lives upon the trees, and that he knows that there probably are more. Now, I have not seen a Mothman, but I have seen sketches of it that, again, I'm going off record, shouldn't be saying, but that they are around, and that I was also to be told that when I go back out to look, because they can close their eyes and they can feel you. Now, he told us that when we are investigating in many different areas, things will are popping up more and more because we are going kind of like backwards in the old days. It's the same thing that has happened then, it is happening now. That's why ever today I've spoken to my neighbor again. Just don't want to learn folks getting hurt. You know, a lot via the film there. Yeah. Danse, Marcy, thank you. Happy Valentines to you too, sweetheart. You know, I try to give everyone that comes to my channel the proper information. Um, I had received another mail, and this was a hate mail, and this is his name was Henry. At first, I'm like, no, that's not the Henry I know, because I had a feel for it. And then I apologize, Henry, because at first I'm like, Henry, no. This man named Henry puts that um, you've only been showing videos of you at home and speaking, but do you really investigate? Good question. But he says he called me a B word, and he said that all natives are whack. Y-U-C-K, whack. I put it in big letters. Then he told me that I should get my visa in order. Um, Excuse me, Henry, whoever watches my videos once in a while, because that's what you said here. I was born here in the United States. Just because I'm full-blooded Blackfoot, that doesn't mean I need a visa. I'm not a immigrant. I'm sorry. And then to tell me that you're a white man and you own this world with the rest of the white people, it saddens my eyes to hear people speak like that, because we all live in this Mother Earth, and the Creator made us all, no matter if we're illegal or not. But it is also too the understanding that Indigenous natives, we don't need a green card. We don't need any documents saying that we're immigrants. We were never immigrants. This is our home, just as it's your home. So yes, I've heard that there are other people that says, you're a slave, just like the black culture or the Mexicans from Mexico. You know what? Everywhere, every state has different identities, different species, different creatures, different animals, different humans. It's your mind that tells you how to speak in a different term. And you speak of hate. You need the creator in your heart, because hate mail like this, people start bringing out do 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 do. No, and that's not the answer. This is why I say every day, and when I come online, I says, be blessed Be happy who you are. Love yourself. And to always say hello and help the next person, because that person could be so angry for so many years and holding so much hatred that is not understanding himself or herself. But you cannot carry on to the next child, because then you're bringing that child up with hatred and not understanding Mother Earth, which is the world. You need to get the education. Everybody has different morals, different sense. Not everyone can see or not everyone can feel when it comes to the Satangas, the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Hairy Man, Ape Man. None of that. Or the Dog Man. Or then he was saying, well, if you go on carrying with the ape people, then are you considered one of their toys? Excuse me, I'm no one's toy. I have 4 clans and I communicate with them. I've gone out when I shouldn't be, because I was healing for what I went through with the cancer and what I went through with the broken leg from the hip to the knee. I don't understand why people really love to make accusations to make you feel sad or vulnerable, or make your mind want to constantly think maybe that person needs more love, or maybe that person needs Mother Earth. Maybe he needs to go for a hike and let him feel Mother Earth in all creatures. Doesn't matter if it's the entities, the cryptids, the orbs, the bad energy that's there. Because this person really needs to take a deep breath. Go up in the mountain, take a deep breath. Sit there for a couple months so you know where you're at. It's very disturbing to get hate mail like this. I am very unhappy when you're calling me an immigrant and that I need to have my papers together. Now, my son Dilly, he said, well, Mom, Mama, there's something coming, and, do you have your paper? Mm, I don't have papers and I don't need papers. I'm legally here. I have my badge for an attorney, and I do have a passport too. Again, you're speaking out of term. We will need to have counsel redirect things with you. I don't care. Oh, don't say Robin. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, okay. I will. I will, sweetheart. Um, I get a lot of hate mail. I don't know why. I wonder. I don't ask other channels, but I will now. Hey, YouTube channels, do you get hate mail just like I do? I There's been many. I mean, there's been a lot lately, and I'm like, I'm not going to use my energy to go and kill this person and read into his or her life. That's not all about me. I have been investigating over 50 years. Since I was 5, I trapped, I killed, I learned how to become a medicine woman. I fought for my title, just like other women had fought for their title too as a medicine woman. And now we're having a female chief. So we had to vote. I think it would be good for a female too. We do this just like how the president is. We do it too. We want to see if they know how to keep the community improving. So, and also too, how they plan out and have the ledger updated properly like it's supposed to with any entities, what spirit's been around, the star people or the star watchers, um, the it's, the Wingalow, I mean everything. Now everybody's saying, well, you must be rich because you've got a casino. No, the casino is confirmed with people to use our entitle of racial, indigenous natives in corporate. So they will have a chief go run it for a man, American man. So they're making money off that. And then we get the whoever the chief is will make there. Because you don't see all the indigenous natives working in the casinos. No. Mm-mm. But if you have watched over in years, because the casinos are going more and more, well, that's because people have been working with other indigenous natives. Now, let's move that one away. They're trying to say that in Alberta, Canada, this couple says there are too many Bigfoots, Sasquatch, that come in Canada. Well, I'm sorry to say this. There are many different clans that are going to stay in one state or country just to know which male or female they want so they can combine more and then take back to their state. Because believe me, if you got a fire here in California or a fire up in Wyoming or a fire in Philly, each Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Satangas, Swamp Man, Hairy Man, Boogeyman, they all come and they roam. Some do foots, some use portals, some take the train. Yes, train. Um, Many think that mountains are their walkway. Yes, power poles. When you see many structures with different areas, those are directions, water source, food source, and community. Now, I've been giving out more stuff and more stuff, and yes, I hear it every time in the Zoom meeting. Sometimes it's just one on one, me and the chief or a community. You're not supposed to tell American people that this and that. Well, my Father, the Creator, Jesus Christ, and Mother Earth has told me, speak, speak loud, and give information. Now, lately it's been with the star peoples and UFOs, and I have been giving him more information about that. And but Me, I always stay true with my subconscious. I'm not really worried about the star people. Everyone has been here way before we have, us humans have. Many people always say, no, no, no. Um, the stars people, they come in their aircraft or trying to humble, no, humble over the house, and they come in and they come and see the children and the mother and father. You're going to run into whatever creature there is. You don't know, it could be an ant. You don't know, it could be a fly. You don't know it, what it can be, whatever the creature. But it's also going to know is that it wants to communicate by either eating sources of the food you have around or water. But remember, just as us humans, we have to learn to adapt in many areas. Say, oh, okay, when I move from the rest to come here, from here to go to another town. Everyone, when you're leaving your home, your children are growing up and they're going to either different states. You wonder, are they going to be okay? What's out there? So you kind of do investigation. Okay, oh, this college is good. Okay, this school is good. Okay, let's plant a seed. Right? That's how it goes. Family grows, grows. Oh my God, no, don't. I have, okay, now what? Mm-mm. Mm, mm, mm-mm. Sorry, I'm trying to. You took and not get, you did not sign the paper. I wasn't going to sign that paper to give my permission. I said I was going to speak as I can. Okay. Um, wow. Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. You have an order. Um, I believe it is my sister because this is the day she had passed, and I told her I was not going to um, be upset no more. I'm breaking that train, that clan, and allowing me to celebrate for her. So, also too, don't want to forget anniversary of Dilihi and Chulo. For those that don't know who Dilihi is, Josh, and Chulo is Jess. Um, I had sponsored her as a daughter in honor, and she is legally into our ledgers where she is my daughter, and it's their anniversary. I think 19 or 18. I think it's 19 years. Can't remember. It's been a couple years now already. So Happy anniversary to them. I wish they stopped now, saying that I need to not speak of what we spoke of today and give you guys information. But it's okay. Let me, okay. Well, does anybody have any questions they want to ask? Or just notice. Okay. Let's see. Does anybody want to join in? You don't have to show your face. You can, cover it up, or you can be on stage, or you can come and speak. Join me on the board here. Ooh, I still have problems with this thing, but it's doing better. And don't be nervous. Please do not be nervous. Be kind. I will be kind to you and people in the community here. My community is very, very helpful and loving. They're very strong. But I will say this, some are very blunt, but they will be nice on here. In their life where they live, they're very blunt. So let me, man, I got to get my new glasses. I really do. Let's see who's going to join. Here comes Henry. I know it's not that Henry. So, Ansei, thank you for coming. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on here. Introduce yourself, who you are, so everybody knows.
I'm Henry up here in New Hampshire. Um, Blessed or cursed, I just seen two Bigfoot, January 2nd, January 3rd. Uh,
You?
Quite an eye opening situation there. But with what you're talking about as far as your elders that you have to report to and all that, it's just, with, I don't want to put it into race either, but don't take it that way. Without information, most of us folks will grab a rifle and just start shooting. That's how it
Correct.
is.
Correct.
Um, but when you learn and get information, you have to better deal with what's around you. Um, that's why I talk with many different people, trying to get as much info as I possibly can. Um, I think the Bigfoot and the other animals out there stand a better chance of survival if we just go pulling and mowing them down. I think honestly, if you put out more information, people will let them live.
Yes, I do truly agree with that. Um, this is why I give the information and share with others, because I feel that not us, just indigenous natives, need to know more and understand as just as well as other human beings, because there is no need to shoot. Those who put the time to investigate and enjoy the Mother Earth, just wanting to know, why. I think many Americans on their mind really want to ask face to face, but Are they really going to able to stand there face to face to have that communication?
I think I think a lot of it also is when people bump into these animals, life forms, types of humans, whatever you want to call it, they make different noises, sounds, roars, and it scares people because they do not have the information or knowledge passed down to understand what these animals are doing. Is it
Correct.
is it for food, finding food, or is it mating? I mean, these critters get awful loud, and it does scare people. Now, I didn't get the noises. I might have heard. Now, my mobile home is pretty thin, so you hear a lot that's outside going on. But the I might have heard one roar type of thing after I saw had my sighting. But I couldn't identify it. Um, but that's it. I mean, once you get the information, you're able to get it through your head a little bit. You know, you can live with these things. You
Correct.
can, you know, they could be in your backyard living just as well as you living on the front yard. You know, it just they're doing their thing. But you know, with these roars and such, their vocalizations, it scares people. And if they're too scared to ask for help or knowledge from other folks, it's going to come down to a gun and it going off. I hate to
Right.
say
You
that.
know, just I apologize.
No, no, go ahead.
I believe that many Americans want to know, but they're scared and they're curious. Why do they make these different sounds? And why are many people saying, can they follow you home? Yes, they can. They're curious just as to see how you live, just as well, because as well as they do on Mother Earth, they want, you know, it's like someone coming into their territory, just like how when another human come in our area, we are alert, correct?
Exactly.
And they're doing the same thing. It's just that they're built different than us. We have skin, very small hair. They're just very tall and light hair and smell. And here some humans don't like the smell, or they put powder or perfume, or like my mother and Mama Rainfeather, they used to get rosemary or flowers and rub it in their hands really good and just rub it on their arms, and that gives them the scent. And the Satangas, Bigfoots, they do the same thing. The women. Now the men, they do on the pine trees, or they'll go get sap and rub it. It's the same thing. We're all curious about each other. Um, like I spoken about my four clans, I sit there and I try to communicate as they can come closer. I said, "Come closer. I have no harm. I have nothing. I have a machete that I keep on, but I put it down in front where they see, and I tell them I won't touch it. But I ask of you not to brush me. Don't throw anything at me." Because in the beginning, when you get to know one, they will like throw um, sticks, small pebbles. They've never thrown a large rock, but they they try to communicate if they can feel that your heart is pure, as calm and sensitive and not wanting to hurt an animal and stuff. But when you
Yeah,
come across your clan, do they enter your backyard?
they're right up close. pretty much just off my bottom lawn. About 47 yards is where I saw them at. The second one, I almost ran over him. I'm glad it moved at the last minute, so I could, divert the truck away from it a little bit, but still 6 inches to a foot off my mirror, I could have easily ran it over. But it moved its arm, and that's why I looked and I turned the wheel a little bit to get away from it, but hit the brakes after. But I mean, yeah, these I think we got a worn out kind of barn down the road. Nobody's using it for animals. It's maybe storage at the most, but they're not going into it daily. I'm pretty sure that's where they're holding up at. Get out of the weather. I'm not saying they don't have a den around here somewhere. I mean, they very well could have, but um, I mean, it just they're here. My dog. I was taking my dog out at 10:30 at night, like I normally do. I scanned my lawn with my flashlight from right to left. It's a big swing. I got a lot of acreage here.
Right.
So my front door is looking at all the woods, stream, the whole not looking at the road. So when I flashed my light out and I stopped on it. It's like, what's the black stuff on his face? What kind of animal is that? It's on it. It's way low on the ground, like belly on the ground. It's like, what is that?
They
You know,
do
I
go on
didn't, I did,
floors. Yeah.
I didn't grab my gun or anything. I just looked at my dog real quick, and he's looking right at it too. And I didn't give him the command to go scare it or anything, um, which he could have done easily. I mean, it's just, but I saw the thing push up from the ground and
Right.
back back up, not turn its back, but back up away from me until I lost him in the trees. The I heard it taking off. I heard it running. It was snapping all kinds of limbs on the ground. So I did hear that much. But what did I do? I said, "Come on, Master, let's go." And we went and took care of his business, and then we came back inside. I didn't turn and run.
Right.
It's like, even though I couldn't identify the animal that was right there, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of it. And where me and the dog were walking is where this thing kind of ran off to. Just we're a little bit above it than where it was. And the dog wasn't worked up. He didn't start growling or anything. He just went and used the snowbank, and then we were back in the house. So it wasn't until I almost ran over the second one, and I didn't see any black stuff on that one's head, but it could have been. I don't know. It wasn't until I saw it on the side of the road that it made sense to, like, I think that's a Bigfoot. Only then did it really start making sense that it's a Bigfoot. The first one, it was so low, belly crawling, trying to get at the deer corn that was dropped there as I by. It was scratching in the frozen dirt trying to get at it. It was like, God, that thing must have been awful hungry. When I went down 2 days later, because I went down armed, I ain't gonna lie about it. I was a little bit more. I thought about it and everything. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have a little stuff on the ATV. Pointed the ATV back at the house before I even got off of it. That way, if I had to go, I could go. Uh, Weapon on my chest, and I'm down there with my tape measure, taping out, foot tracks. It's like, well, that's 12-inch track. It's not very big. I found a 10-inch track. I didn't follow that one. That was kind of stupid of me, but I didn't do it.
So you had it's a possible that 12-inch could be a female.
Yes, exactly. The 10-inch, I only saw the one track. I didn't follow it out, but I went up and found where two toes were sticking up out of the snow. And it's like, that's cool. That's very cool. And then just after I saw that, I looked up a little bit and I saw a X, a perfectly made X on the ground. I was like, oh, that's quaint. I recorded it. I put it on my channel. But I mean, it's like right after I saw those two little toes sticking out. Oh, it's a cool mark. Um,
That's exciting.
that's yeah, it was that I enjoyed that part of it. It's like, wow, look at that. Um, they weren't scary looking. It had a little black mask over its eyes, like an oval on both eyes, and you could see the tan on the nose, type of thing. Um, it wasn't scary. I wasn't scared of it. It wasn't this big, you know, 4 foot wide shoulders, no neck, small, scary head. I didn't see any of that. It wasn't that kind of thing wasn't there. So it was like, well, okay. I spent 25 minutes down there tracking this animal and seeing what it was doing, why was it doing it, and it was scratching that frozen ground to try to get some sweet corn out of the ground. That's
Um,
that's a, that's a lot of scratching on cold ground for a couple nibbles.
right, right. You're right. Soundwave says, what did both Henry's Bigfoot look like, the color, etc.?
Light tan uh, with a black mask on the first one. The second one, I didn't see its front of its face. I saw the back of its head, back, shoulders, both shoulders. And that one, because of the headlights were on it, I think it had white. Um, the tips of its hair was white all the way around, from one shoulder and arm to the other side, like a silhouette. But it had white all on its hairs all the way across. That
Right.
might have
There
been from
will
the head.
there will be some stangas with white hair. I know of one that has like um, almost like a mohawk, but it looks like a mohawk, but you can see more of it going all around, but
Oh, yep,
strongly more go down. Then that means they're becoming an elder. They're older.
yeah. No,
So
the one down on the ground on its belly, I saw no white stuff on its hair at all, and I had a really strong flashlight on it, very strong flashlight on it. But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's two different animals. But I saw them. I wasn't scared by them. A little bit worried that I was going to hit one. I stopped, turned around, and came back on the icy road, and it was gone. So it was headed for the trees, the thicker pines. In both situations, it was running for the thicker pines. So, am I going to walk in those woods? Nope, not for a while. I'm not ready for that yet.
right.
Uh, PTSD, whatever you want to call it. I'm just, no, not yet. I'm not ready to do that.
You go when you feel that you're more comfortable and ease, because when you're entering Mother Earth, and even if you're just hiking, you still, if it's in your backyard or beyond your tree line, you still need to be caution for yourself, because you know many humans or people feel that it is a bit scary, but yet you're interested. What are they doing now? Satangas, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, they do tend to get on all fours, so the people or humans don't know what is coming.
Yeah.
That is because they're trying to see if there's anything out. I mean, very seldom do they want to take a chicken, or, and I've never heard them take a cow. I've heard them take chickens and pigs,
Yeah.
but
Eggs. That too.
yeah, and the eggs. Um, but they don't eat it all, not just one. They share with their clan. They even leave half out for other animals to eat.
Yep.
But
The
I
other
think,
reason I think was on the ground uh, is because I had a security camera
uh-huh,
that has that invisible light. I had it aimed right at that spot. It doesn't. I couldn't see it moving. If it was stood up, I wouldn't be able to see it because the camera only goes out 20 yards. If it's beyond that 30 yards, standing there, it wouldn't pick it up. But the
right,
light was pointed at that area. And I think that's the other reason why it was crawling on its belly to get to that spot. I mean, two steps back, it was standing with its feet side by side with each other. So it made the motion of getting down low, which if the camera reached down there, it might not have even seen it because it was lower than the root system. So,
right.
but it was trying to, I think it was trying to duck the camera.
Yeah, because see, they know where cameras are. They know how to be cloaked, or they know how to do um, as like a snake or a possum or a skunk. Be on all fours down. So they're very intelligent, and I try to explain this to many people, and I repeat myself over and over because you need to understand they will stand up. Excuse me, or they can jump into the tree, cloak into the tree, and they'll be standing on a very, say this is a thin branch, and they're on it. And they're like between what, 300 to 700 pounds.
Yeah, definitely
But
300.
that's the thing that people don't understand is how, if they're so heavy, why did that branch break? Because they don't have their full weight on it.
Yeah. And the closer you get to the tree on the branch, the stronger the branch is.
Correct. It's very important that others understand when you do go investigate a Mother Earth with all creatures, you're going to combine by seeing others, animals with them. You might even see, you know, um, a squirrel on top of them, or, what I also like to tell other people is that when a satanga is in not that far from you, a squirrel and a bird will be chattering, and that's alerting you. Hey, someone's here, and
They do the same thing to deer when deer are standing there. Yeah, I've heard it.
to do that too. But sometimes many people get really nervous and wonder why has these creatures that are so hairy and smelly come to our area. And it's like I tell you, when you send me messages and stuff, and I try to give you the best knowledge, I say because they've been here before us. And it's just that they've been more out lately, yes. And I feel that because of the government has been trying to really grab another one because it's a different time,
Yeah.
and want to see if their species are still the same.
See,
But
that's
yeah, go
as you're
ahead.
speaking this, I didn't call game wardens. I didn't call the cops because I already know what they're going to say. Well,
Your your
thought they
mind.
saw a bear or something, right? I don't need to hear that from anybody. I know what I saw, but don't try to tell me it's a bear and just come up out of its den. You know what I'm saying?
Many people say, "Well, oh, was it a bear that I think it was a bear." We have different relatives and live in different states, and when they hear someone is talking about an it or a wingalo, or Mothman now, or just a Satanga, you would never see them be intimate with them. You'll never see that. They only do it with their clan.
Yeah.
Now, someone had said in one of the groups, I'm not going to say the group name or the person that said this because of privacy, but this person believed that was trying to, oh, I'm making wait. I know I'm in trouble already. Said that they were trying to mate with a bear. I don't see that.
No, no.
So, but when you start something like that and it goes on and on and on, is why don't you tell the truth? You're just making a story up.
Yeah.
But sometimes these people don't understand that many of these tangas and young juveniles, they're wanting to understand what does human want to know about them, you know, because it's a different generation for them as well.
Yes.
You have a question. Soundwave says, does Henry hear wood knocks? If so, what type of knocks, like 12 or 3?
Yeah, I haven't gotten any wood knocks at all. As far as tree structures, I didn't think I had any of that either until I saw the X laying on the ground, and the X looked perfectly placed. I'm not hearing any of that stuff yet. Uh, are they doing it? Possibly. I've just barely started putting the recorder out so it can pick up the nighttime noises. So far, I haven't heard any of that. None of that. It's been pretty quiet.
Um, there, there are satangas that do knocks, but sometimes, like they say, where they're more active is like from midnight to 5 or 6 in the morning. You hear the juveniles making like drums, or the older juveniles the same thing, but they'll go to a tree that seems hollow, and then you would hear a different knock.
Yeah, I haven't heard any of that yet.
See, my husband just opened the door. He says, "Shh," he's in a meeting too over there, and he told me, he goes, "God, you get so excited every time you talk about them." I do. I really do. Um, when I vision myself to a different state where to help channels or my sons or my daughters, I do, and I can tell you where they're at, how far, what they look like, but I don't ruin for the channel as of the respect. That way, the people, their audience, their viewers can see it.
Yeah.
And I will say this: when, especially sanghas, because I will be going there. I have seen many different ones, and there's new babies, and I could see them trying to make little structures.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wait because I want to. As he's walking, I'm going to sit on the stump somewhere, or maybe sit on the tree, and I'll have my Betsy with me so I can teach her how to communicate with them, and but physically she can do that. And I'm excited because I think that getting to know other satangas is really important.
See,
And
see when
I'm
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
It's fine.
the reason I got into this, and it's been about 4 years now that I've actually been even studying and researching Bigfoot or Dogman. I researched both of them. Um, they were roaring at my folks' house. They were coming up, banging on the side of the building, banging on the ladder that's hanging out back. Um, Took 3 years to figure out why it was roaring, but I did. I figured it out. Uh, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I was trying to get in between whatever's roaring at the house, away from them, because they don't carry weapons or anything like that. They're old, you know. They
Yeah.
mow a field like with a lawnmower. I mean, it's foolish, but that's what they do. Um, the biggest thing is don't go peeing all the way around your property and expect nothing to be upset about it, because they get
That's
upset.
true. That is very true.
They get
Because
upset. That's why they roared at their house. But it took me 3 years to figure out all that information, because they didn't give it to me all at once. And it's like, well, Dad, that makes a little bit more sense, don't it? But that's why I got involved, and I wasn't expecting anything on my property, but it showed up, and it's like, oh, great.
but you should be happy that they come around, and maybe they do want you to communicate with them, but within your terms.
Yeah, yeah,
Because yes, a Satanga and a Bigfoot, they always run together. The dog man will be in one corner and the Bigfoot would be like 25 feet away. The dog man, it will always be the first one to be there to see what you're doing, and then he lets the Bigfoot know. Now, the dog man does like a certain chatter or a certain call. Many people say, well, I heard him whistle. Okay, well, um, there is a ringtone to his whistle, but you would always know them too. And yes, they don't like to see you, like how cats, and dogs, they urinate to,
yep,
oh, that claimed this tree. They don't do that, but they don't like it. That is very true. They do not like it. The dog man will go around and either he'll spray it back over, or he'll grab the where they urinated, his paws, he'll grab it out because he doesn't want it. Mother Earth belongs to, even our home is on Earth. It
yep,
belongs to them, and they really do believe that they have communications with certain humans. So I believe, like I had told you, they're trying to communicate with you. And there is a juvenile,
yeah.
and
I was
he does,
thinking teenager size myself, honestly.
yeah. There's a four that I hang around, they come around, and I see two dogs. One's a male that stands with the female, and male satangas right in your backyard where you go. You'll see the big, I don't know if that's an oak or is, it looks like an oak tree to me, and it's really big in the back. Yes, I know. Goodness. I told you I've been letting things out, and they're saying, you're gonna get a warning. I'm like my mother and Mama Rainfeather says, other people needs to know. And if they want to know, then do it. Tell them. But don't get so much, which I didn't say everything. I just gave portions, and everybody else can figure it out. Um, let's see. Robin says here, my son is gonna take his guitar the next time we go hiking and play to see if the clan will come out and let them instead of peekabooing, since they are starting to do baby steps with us. They love music. They really do. And it doesn't matter if it's from jazz, rock and roll, flute, drums, but they really do enjoy music. Um, I know certain channels say they like kids' music, but the ones I really know, um, they like a lot of different music. Certain clans, I guess, will have baby music because you're approaching it, but they can like others. Oh, can you hold on? This is the chief. Oh God.
Sound wave. I don't do wood knocks, and I will not do whoops. I won't do that. Absolutely won't do that because I don't know what I'm saying. Um, I mean, you could be saying the wrong thing, and if they get offended, it's going to hurt. That's all I'm saying. If they get offended by what you're trying to do, it will hurt. That's why I won't do it. I've been told what they mean, blah blah blah, but I still won't do it.
Henry, can you keep talking to them while I'm talking to him, please?
Oh yeah, no problem. So that yeah, it's just the music part of it. Yeah, I agree. They do listen to that. They'll come up and actually watch you doing it. From what I've read, um, just I would not whistle even at night. Don't do it. That's one of their calls. Uh, they will come up on harmonicas even. I kind of liken that to a whistle noise maybe. Uh, but yeah, it's just you just got to protect yourself, number one, and then if you're gonna play, what are you gonna do? Leave the guitar outside for them to touch or whatever? You could do it that way too. But yeah, just whatever you do out there, just be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. Listen. Um, if you hear something really going off in the woods, then maybe that's not the time to play the guitar. It's just going to come down to, what do you think? You think it's going to be safe or not? Uh, and do it baby steps, like what you said, how they're walking up or getting closer to you. Just do a little at a time. Um, and then if you upset them a little bit, you'll hear it, and try not to go beyond it. Just little bits at a time. I think, um, even with my learning what these are, little bits at a time. I'm not ready to go into the thick pines and go look for them or sign. I'm not there, and I hunt out in the woods. I got 1,500 acres behind me that I hunt, and I'm worried about going down into the thick pines where it was going. I I won't do it yet. So it just you'll know. I mean, when you get to that point, you'll know, is it going to be safe enough for me or not. And you got to make that call. Nobody else can do it for you. How you doing? Still with us?
I'm still here. I'm still on the phone.
Oh, going to gift them next time. I found I next time I go out because someone else put. Oh yes, trail cams in the area. Yeah, just yeah, they're gonna see that trail camera. I honestly think they can see the invisible light that trips it. I think they can see that. And if somebody's putting it there, they're either going to poach a deer from there, or they're trying to see what you're looking at. So yeah, definitely, if you're going to put food down, keep it well away. They will smell it. Whatever. They'll smell the food or whatever. Just be careful. Make sure there's no other homes around the area. That's the big one. Because if you stop feeding them, once you start feeding them, you say once a week, whatever, they get into a routine of getting this food where they ain't got to hunt it up and all that. If you get sick and can't go out to it to continue filling that bait side up, they will get grumpy. And I mean grumpy. Um, be careful. I won't put bait on the ground for them. I mean, what they went after was deer corn. I was baiting deer, yes. I didn't realize because the deer stopped coming. They no more tracks on my property, and I should have figured out it was them cleaning out the deer feed. But now I know it's middle of winter and they're scratching at the ground because they didn't have the regular feed to feed themselves. So it's pretty bad. If one starves because of me putting deer feed out, then stopping, snake eating the tail thing. So yeah, just be careful of it. Don't tell everybody you're going to do something like that. Just make sure there's no other houses around there because if you stop, Bigfoot will go to the next house or closest house to them, and they're going to start raising hell with it. I know that much right now. I've spoken to 4 different people about that issue. So yeah, that's what I know about feeding. Tupperware messes them up. I ain't gonna lie about it. That lid that goes on, it messes them up. They don't understand it. You may have to keep it cracked a little bit for a couple times, and then they'll figure it out. Or a lid on an item. Put the flavor or whatever it is onto the lid. Leave the lid really loose. They'll figure it out. Don't leave it tight. They won't figure it out. They'll chew off the bottom of the jar or whatever. So yeah, you don't want plastic going into these animals or beings. Just if they decide to go after that, then they decide to go after it. Just don't hurt them with it if possible. Yes, I have. I put tobacco out. I've done some a little bit of greetings with them. Uh, my dog, he realized that they'd come back. He was hopping all 4 off the floor, trying to let me know something's out there, and he wanted to go play with it. He did that with deer too. I tell him let it be, and he'll get off the whole idea of chasing a deer. So yeah, they came back like a week later. Are they back every week? I haven't seen any tracks in the snow, and I've been using my binos. Um, they haven't been back. Not maybe up the stream. I can't say that because I haven't looked at the stream lately. But anything, I got a choke point 60 yards across. Anything goes through there, I'll see it. I'll see the tracks. I'm not seeing any of that right now. I think they're holding up in that broken down barn garage thing. They're holding up there while while we're getting the snow. I don't know. I don't want to force them out of their home either, so I'm not talking to that neighbor about it. Have you seen anything? I don't want them to go check that out with weapons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. It's a yes. I agree. It's a trust thing. It's just I get it. I mean, I'm with a team out of Massachusetts even, and I went down there because of the tree structures. They got so many structures down there. It's crazy. Yeah, that's happening down there too. They're putting stuff out, and I warned them. I said, if you stop doing this, this is how they're going to react. That's all I'm getting at. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Definitely somebody that doesn't even know that they're there. Come banging on their house. But yeah, and the other thing you want to think about too. Now, nobody has really discussed this. A lot of our products that we can give them or whatever. There's a lot of sugars in these products, and I think if the more they consume of these sugary products, they're going to start getting dental problems. They don't have a dentist out in the woods. Um, I know I get pretty grumpy when my teeth hurt. Might want to consider that in whatever you're gifting that it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it, maybe. Apples, that's pretty, easy stuff. They come across that all the time, apples. Uh, I'd suggest that over any other substance that we put out there. Just a thought. Yeah, this one I had my flashlight beam. It had to turn its whole body, whole upper body, to get both eyes on me. It couldn't turn its head. Okay, so it rolled its whole body up to look at me with both eyes, and it's like, oops, I've been caught. And then instead of getting on its knees and getting up, it pushed up all the way and backed up. Kind of something else, really. It just I didn't expect to see that, but up on two legs, and it's like it started getting, but it would not show me its back. That was different. Bears, deer, turkeys, even I'll see the backs every time. Not this guy. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Uh, yeah, I'd like to see him around. Just stop messing with my deer. I like to shoot one during deer season off my porch if possible. So quit messing with them. That's my thought. Joking there a little bit. Means I have to put clothes on and go out and hunt. Anyway, yeah, they scared the deer away. Deer on the other side of the road and up on the mountain, they stopped coming after apple season. And why do I say that? It's because I had security cameras out there on the apple trees around them. There was really only one way into it that you could get in without getting caught. Uh, but I had two or three security cameras kind of aimed that direction. So they didn't get no apples. The deer did. The deer came and mugged me and then ran back across the road. They didn't stick around on my property. They'd come and eat and go, usually during the daytime. What else do I notice here? Yeah, it's just Taking the dog out at 10:30 and 5:30 in the morning, it was crossing pavement, going towards a river, a frozen river, but towards a river. Uh, I'd say take a bite out of whatever you're offering them. That way they know it's okay as far as the bag goes. I don't know. I've seen see-through plastic bags being used on the East Coast somewhere. Uh, like I said, Tupperware, but it confused them for a while. And then I said, just leave the top on, just crack it loose. That way if they touch it, it'll move. So, yeah, that worked. Just took a long time for them to figure it out. Plastic wraps and stuff like that. They seem to put their thumb through it and open it up that way. Instead of just trying to chew on the plastic, they'll put their thumb on it and move it. But you got to make sure all that stuff goes back out too, plastic and all that junk. You bring it in, you bring it back out. You don't want them getting eating on any of this stuff that could make them or hurt them. And I need my small glasses on here. So that's what I've learned about it. Took 6 weeks for the guys to be able to work with the smaller Bigfoot down in Mass to do a peanut butter jar, plastic thing. So
Thank you very much, Henry, for answering some of their questions and stuff. And yes, when you're gifting, you do need to take a bite of an apple or put your finger with peanut butter and eat it. They need to see that.
Yep.
I did get a deep, heavy warning.
I thought it was kind of quiet on your side for a bit.
Yeah, that was like 15 minutes of saying, well, you're doing good. I'm proud of you, but it's not going to help this election for her to become, if you're giving more information to the people. And I'm like, well, I'm fighting for what's right. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you want to like shun me, like people say, he goes, I'm not shunning you. I can't. You're one of my best elders. And even you haven't done any investigation within a year due to, your illness. He goes, no, but I know you went out there a couple times. I was told.
Yeah.
But now that I'm free from the cancer and just have to take the medicine, I am walking a little better. So I'm going to get back out there. I'm told my husband it's time for me to. He goes, aren't you going to retire you've been doing this like over 45 years, 40 years. I said, babe, when you are so much involved with the Satangas, you want to continue keeping them safe. And that is what I'm trying to do, is keep them safe and explain to other people and humans that, they are important people.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like some of the stuff that I've seen down in Mass. I'm not doing the feeding. I'm not doing the calls.
Right.
I won't do the whoops. I won't do the tree knocks. Even though I've been told by other folks even what they might mean, I won't do it. I only make noises that I normally make here. If they come, they come. I'm not gonna
Right.
tease them into coming because they think another Bigfoot's up here. No, that's not.
Right.
I don't want that.
Well, actually, they read your mind before you can say it.
Right.
Soundwave says, I have marbles, colorful ribbons, cave crystals, pecans, walnuts, and some fruit and tobacco. That is, I do put down tobacco for Mother Earth to save appreciation. And I don't do marbles, but I tell people you can. But marbles for the juveniles, they really like to they'll flick it
Oh, I
off the
thought,
trees, or they'll flick it on off, just like one of our children's will do.
yep.
Ding ding. They'll do that. You see some adults do that, the same thing with the kids. It's just like how we act with our children. They do the same thing, but they're a little more rougher. So, but yes.
My
um
grandkids loud when they play down at the stream. Very, very loud. They actually
yeah.
called in a coyote one day because they sounded like they were screaming. One was screaming, and it sounded like a rabbit squealing, is what it sounded like. Brought in the coyote, not even 20 minutes later.
Yeah, yeah, gotta be quiet and observe, and also, you have to have patience and earn the trust. And when you talk to them in a regular voice, not hey, real out loud. No.
Yeah.
So,
They
but
they came here. I'm not mad at it. I'm not shooting, trying to scare them away or anything like that. I just don't want to get charged. Thank you very
right,
much. But I think if they read my mind, they know that I don't want to get charged. So hopefully, if they're going to be here for a while, hopefully they understand that part of it.
right, right. Okay, well, I have a Zoom meeting in 30 minutes, so I got to get my notes together and write down. So I was writing what he said. I
Yeah,
do dictation, so being a nurse, you know how to do all that. So I have a lot I got to put out, and then I got to bring it up against the community, the council members, because he says that he's got two calls saying that I was giving too much information. And you know what? They can bite their tongue, because I think it's very important that many people do understand about the it and the Wingalo, and what we live and share with.
yeah, I agree with that part of it.
So I will say this: if you are interested in knowing about the dog man and the Satanga, or any spiritual, or well, the orbs are spiritual, so you really need to be calm and don't enter Mother Earth with anger. Try not to go in if you're crying, have any sadness, because they will pick it up. But if you're showing any anger, they will get aggressive, and then that they know that that's what you want, and
Yeah,
you don't want that. You want to stay calm as you're entering, Mother Earth, even if you're just hiking. Now, many of you in my community know that my clan has been coming to me more since I had been sick. They come in my house. My husband says, I can smell them. I don't mind they come in, just not in our room. But when I'm antsy, um, part of me doesn't want to see, just wants to go out there and look at them and talk with them. Now, they know that, me being sick, they always want to touch me. This is, I
yep.
promise you this: if you get to know your clan that close, and that you're allowing them to touch you, sometimes you can get bruised or scratched by their nails. You just have to, like, oops, I'm sorry, you know, be careful, you're scratch me, because their touch is really hard. It's like this.
They don't know their own strength.
They don't. and
uh,
you don't want to tell them you're fragile,
no.
because then they'll like back off and not, but
Is
when
there
you're,
next
I'm sorry.
time to talk about what we feel or pick up on out in the woods? Because I
Yes, that's,
was in the
I'll do
woods
a good topic about that.
3 different times because I felt this that weird stuff that humans have. That'd be a good topic, I think.
Okay. We can probably do that maybe Monday.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to let you
Monday.
go. I'm going to
Yes,
step.
we gotta go. Thank you, Henry, so much for filling me in. Why
Thanks for
I
having
had to take.
me. Appreciate it.
You're very much welcome. I appreciate you joining the board here. And everyone, please, let's give Henry a hand for coming on the board here and communicating with us all and sharing his stories, which is always love, 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 love. And everyone, please have a safe weekend and joyful, peaceful, and remember to be kind. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Until then, I'm Elder Medicine Bear Claw, and you take care. Bye bye. Thank you for joining me on my live. Wait, one more thing. Let's do some shout outs. I want to shout out to Robin, Soundwave, Henry, my Betsy Jackie, Marcy, Titi Roger. I think Roger left. I think he did because I just saw JP go live. And Griff, thank you so much. And Griff, thank you for telling me I was on mute. I enjoy everyone, and thank you so much for coming on my live and spending Friday morning with me. I do, and Friday afternoon for you, and many blessings. I will always keep you guys in my prayers, and I will say an extra special prayer. So, happy Valentine's to you all. Take care of yourself. You know how to get a hold of me if you need me. Bye bye.